Happy Easter! It is day 8 of our baking through Holy Week, the last day. Happy Easter! And today we're going to make resurrection rolls. What are resurrection rolls? I hear you ask. Well, we're going to find out. So you need to prepare your stuff first. So I've got about 100 grams of butter that's melted. I've got a bowl of marshmallows. Got some ready rolled puff pastry sheet, or you can use croissant dough if you can find that. And then we've got 1/4 cup of sugar and a couple of tablespoons of cinnamon, and you mix them up together. Okay, Caleb, did you mix them for me? Just mix them up so there's no swirls. Now you see, when the women arrived at the place where Jesus had been buried, he was not there. Jesus had been buried in a sort of a cave, a tomb, and the large stone that had been in front of the tomb had been rolled away. An angel spoke to the women, saying, "Do not be afraid, for I know that you are looking for Jesus who was killed on the cross, but he's not here. He has risen, just as he said." Now you can find that story and read it properly in Mark chapter 16, about verses 1 to 7, and it's the Easter morning story, which I'm sure you've heard. So we've got everything ready here. We're going to have to chop up the pastry into squares big enough to wrap a marshmallow. And our marshmallows are going to be Jesus, and we're going to put Jesus in little tombs and see what happens. Now, as standard with these bakings that I've been doing, I haven't practiced it, so let's hope it's going to work. So marshmallows about that size, I think like that. There we go. How's the mixing going, Herb? Okay, here we go. It's done. Ready? So you're going to need to turn your oven on to about 200 degrees. This is quite a hot one, this one. Thank you. Right, Caleb, watch. So you get your marshmallow. Drop your marshmallow into the butter, the melted butter. Then you take it and you put it in the cinnamon. So this is like when they would take the bodies and they would anoint them with oil and spices before they went in the tomb. So we've anointed our marshmallow with oil, butter and with spices. And when it's all totally covered, really well covered, take it out, put it on one of the little squares, and we wrap Jesus marshmallow up in his tomb. Squidge the edges of the pastry together. There we go. So that it stays closed. And then we bake it. Right, do you want to have a go? They're all done. Okay, so we're going to paint them with the melted butter, and then we'll sprinkle them with a layer of cinnamon just to make them really tasty. in they go for, well, until they look ready. I'd say about 10-12 minutes. So lesson number 1 from this, we learn you have to make sure that everything is sealed up quite tight, otherwise you get marshmallow flooding. But here we go, they didn't all open up. This one didn't open up. Now remember, we put Jesus, we anointed him in oil, we anointed him with spices, and we put him in his tomb. Now it's Easter Day. And hopefully he's completely gone. Jesus is not in the tomb. He's not there. Because it was empty. Jesus' body was not in the tomb because he'd risen. Happy Easter. Nom, 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 nom.
So it wasn't like this one then?
No, that one went a bit wrong.
Jesus didn't just go a bit gooey.
No.